We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2073. It's Friday. This entire week, Jill and I have been talking about the secret recipe for success in the land investment business. I have to say, I'm qualified in talking about this topic because today we're actually talking about why Jill and I have survived for 30 plus years combined together in the land investment business.
Mm-hmm.
What's the secret, Jill? What do you think?
Well, there's a couple pieces, and I'm going to share them in a few minutes. It's really good. I took some time and really thought about what makes us work and it's interesting. I pick it up in other relationships, other partnerships. So I think I have some good insight and some things that can help you look for in a partner.
I have a lot to say on this.
Uh-oh.
Each day on the show.
Oh, no. That did not sound good all of a sudden.
No, it's all
okay.
It's 99.9% positive.
Yeah.
Each
so
day
my 3 might not be his 3. It could be like,
I'm
no,
sure
yeah.
that's the case.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, and we take a deep dive into the land-related topics by your request.
Okay, so Frank wrote, oh, this is cute. How the hell do you guys work together? I've tried working with my wife, and I can't agree on anything. She does not take my direction. What's the secret? That's
well,
funny.
Frank, you're giving direction.
Yeah, there you go. You actually think that she would consider taking your direction. That's problem number 1. Just kidding.
I was never delusional. We should just go right into the show here.
Okay.
Because the question's the same.
It's good.
And I chose that question intentionally.
People ask us that a lot. That does come up a lot, and I get it. I know people, what's interesting is there's a lot of people that come to Land Academy like, I get it, I'm into it, and it might be the husband, and sometimes it's the wife, and they're like, I want, my husband, my partner, and I to have the same thing that you guys have, and it's not going to just work that way because one of you's into it doesn't necessarily mean you could pull the other one in. Sometimes you can, but often you can't.
I have to tell you, so this is what we've been working together 15 years.
Oh, 16. It'll be going on 16 years now this year, 25.
So, and hardcore working full time together for probably 12, maybe 13 years. So probably more. And the reason that it works, with the way that it works now is way different than the way that it worked in the beginning. It wouldn't even resemble the same situation at all. There's some pretty simple boundaries and rules that we have in place now that we did not have in the beginning. And if we would have given up after the first year because it was, we didn't understand where each of us fit in the whole thing, we would have given up and this would have never worked. So. Yeah. It took, not takes, a lot of work. I hate when people say it's a lot of work to be married. That's just not the case. If it's a lot of work, get out of there. It shouldn't take a lot of work.
Single, maybe. There's both have pros and cons.
There's some upfront work for Jill and I to have a social and professional relationship lasted about maybe 12, maybe 18 months. And that's it. And the reason that it did last and the reason that we stuck with it, both of us, is because of this. And here's the key. She and I, as far out as you can look from down the success line or what we want in life, both socially and professionally, is the same thing. And that's not because she sold me on it or I coached her on it or any of that stuff. It's just we came from an environment where we were and are the black sheep in our family. So all of my family and Joe's family, we're just misunderstood. They don't understand our drive. They don't understand us together, getting together later in our life. And I come from everything from a number standpoint, and Jill doesn't. She comes to everything from a social standpoint. And we both have alpha personalities, and that shouldn't work. We should both be eating each other alive.
Yeah.
The reason that it works is because we have some simple rules. Like anything to do with a person, Jill does it. Anything to do with taxes, legal stuff, math, budgeting, anything that has to do with research. Should we do it? Shouldn't we do it? Pricing, all of that has to do with me. And we don't question each other. And so that's how I can work with Jill. Then beyond that, there's some simple stuff like don't live in an RV for 6 months, a 350 square foot RV for 6 months and expect everybody to be happy at the end. Things like that.
You're smiling now.
We're on our 5.5 month.
I know. It's a bit, I can't even think. I'm like, where are we now? May 20. May.
So I told you I had a lot to say here.
September, October, November. Yeah, this is 6. This is a long time. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's funny. I wrote down 3 things, and they're a lot like
Oh,
what you
are
just
they?
covered. Yeah, look, I'll show you. One is same goals.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do 3 things. Here's 3 things of why we have survived and thrived working together as a couple in the land business. We have the same goals, like he just said. That's easy. And that was a lot of the reason why anything I did before this didn't work. I couldn't find anybody that had the same crazy goals as me. Like, they're like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't get it. So that was huge. Number 2, similar work habits. That is huge.
Yeah, we do.
I will never get mad at him for saying, I need to go in a dark room for 2 days. And when I'm done, it's going to be amazing. And I will tell you exactly where we're mailing and exactly what we're doing. And you're going to hold on to your hat. These are going to be beautiful. And you're going to be buying a lot of property.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay.
That absolutely
So
actually happens.
he does. And I say, great. Tell me what time you want me to deliver you a sandwich. Because I appreciate that. And then the flip is true. When the phone's ringing off the cook, he's like, it's Saturday night. It was literally, we're having fun. We're going out. And I'm like, I can't leave the phones. He's like, and I'm like, but you should go. He's like, okay. No reason both of us doing it. And I get a kick out of it. And I'm making us money. And I don't mind giving it up. And so he doesn't give me a hard time, too, for, leaving him on a fun night and me working and staying in. No big deal. So we have the same nutty work habits, and we together, we didn't even talk about it, for, I'm going to say the first 4 years of Land Academy, and we're going on 10 years of Land Academy. For the first 4 years of Land Academy, we didn't come up for air hardly. We, our friends are like, where'd you guys go? We did a lot of the work ourselves. He learned how to burn CDs and figure out the podcasts and all this equipment, and there was so much there, and dealing with property. I was buying and selling land and helping Land Academy and answer questions and selling Land Academy and selling land and building the membership, and it would be, I don't know, 12, however many hour days. We didn't think about it. It's just you did what you had to do. So that, and nobody was mad. We were doing it together. And what was interesting? Nobody ever got mad. Nobody ever resented the other person. And no one, I can speak for myself. I hope you feel the same way. I never felt like I was carrying you or I was doing more work than you.
No.
We were both working.
I never felt like that.
Exactly. Both working so hard and, gosh, diving in and doing what whoever was best at it or whoever could do it or had the time, whatever. You get that, I get that. Okay. You just did it. And then my number 3 is, which ties with that last comment, is we each fill the voids. There's a void. Like Jack said, I will never be, I have no desire to have the PhD in Excel and everything like he does. I have no desire to learn Adobe Audition. I have no desire to fill in the blank kind of thing. You know
what Adobe Audition is?
Well, it kind of looks, it's in the corner right there. I know what it is. I can play around with it. I actually have used it a little bit to record little snippets for stuff for other things, but only because you set it up on my computer and gave me the little tutorial, So that's not my thing. And I'm fine with that.
Land Academy solved the last big problem that Jill and I had in our land investment business. And that was creating a constituency that of like-minded people, educating them the way that we believe this business should go, and then us doing deals together.
Yep.
Access to capital. Access to capital when I started buying land was non-existent. You couldn't get private equity. You couldn't get buying and selling land was such a foreign concept in the early 90s and so the reason that we started Land Academy is to just blow it open because we had constantly having all these acquisitions we couldn't fund. And so that solved it, especially with houses and mobile homes, because they're expensive. You have to spend $400,000 to make, 80 or 90, which is fine. It's pretty low risk. But that's why we started Land Academy. And she never, I don't question Joe when she's like, look, we need to buy this. Are you sure? Yeah, here's why. This. It's very rare that I'll say I disagree.
When was the last time you even said that?
I don't even know about what she
know.
buys. And that's the truth
there is that
anymore
too.
because it's been this many years. But here's the thing. Enough about us. For whatever reason, we made it work. And we're at a point now where we don't need to work anymore at all. And our kids actually probably don't ever have to work again.
Don't tell them that.
But, and their kids. So the question we're asking each other is, why, and we won't stop. Neither one of us will stop buying and selling land. So we have little differences about when things should happen, how they should happen, how to get to that big point down the road. Very serious differences about how to get there, but we both want to get there, so we work it out.
True.
And we trust each other. People ask me, my wife's not working anymore. I got Land Academy and she, I got it for her. Yeah. And it never works that way.
True.
Should we work together? I mean, can you go on vacation together? Well, the last time we went on vacation, this happened. No, you're not going to be able to work together.
Exactly.
If you can't, and don't feel bad because this is not the regular thing that we have.
True.
It's great.
It is weird. I will go on record saying, no, I agree. It is weird. Like you're in an RV together and then you're working together and then you're doing a show together and you're doing this together. Yeah, it is weird.
We meet all kinds of people on the road. Some of them know who we are before we meet them because of the show. And they ask us, should we work together? I absolutely say no. You should not even try. It's such a long road to success. And we meet people. I met somebody recently that said, I couldn't go away for a weekend with my wife. Uh-huh. There's no way. We would kill each other. And so I think that's the norm.
Maybe.
So I don't know what it is about you and I and how this works, but I don't know. I
think those same things. Well, you know what? For other people, maybe they have the same goals, but they don't have similar work habits. You probably have to have all three. Same goals, same work habits, and you fill each other's voids, and you trust the other person.
Yeah.
So something in there is missing. That, I think, would be, if I just
I can tell you what I think it is.
If other people can't do it, they can't. And they have to, you know what else? I'll add a little thing. You have to be a little bit humble and a little bit like, okay, you feel strongly about this one, you go for it. And I believe in you and I trust you.
Yeah.
That's probably the last
sometimes
thing.
you have to
That's
sell
probably the hardest
sell
part.
it 3 weeks later.
But I wonder how many wife points I got for that one. Nobody keeps score, by the way. No, we don't keep score.
No way.
No, you can't keep score. You just have to lovingly say, you can never say I told you so, and you have to just support that person all the way. If you feel you don't want to keep it now and you want to sell it, that's fine by me. We can make it work or not. It's up to you.
There's this business of idiosyncratic that your partner pulls professionally or socially. And believe me, if you think she's pulling idiosyncratic stuff, so are you. Mm-hmm. She's sitting there saying the same thing. I just can't stand the way, way he sits there, which just happens. So you have to get that under control because I think that's why that more than anything, especially when working, spirals out of control. Yeah. Jill and I walked through, we took a tour of the Midway, the aircraft carrier from World War II. That was actually active in the Gulf War, I just learned, but it's all decommissioned and it's in San Diego. And a few years ago, we walked through it and we were lucky enough to have, I think it was a retired admiral, something crazy, or it was either that or the skipper, the captain, I don't know if they necessarily served in that fleet or whatever, but there's a specific chair on the bridge where when the captain or the admiral sits in the chair, that's it. He's in charge. And somebody said until he gets up and his wife calls. And he said that's absolutely the case. He had to take a minute or two before he went home after being the captain of the freaking Midway or whatever, I'm embellishing here, and say, you know what, she's in charge when I get home. She's in charge of the house. And I don't think a lot of people do that. I think when you start to make a bunch of money, Jill and I built this together from the first dollar. And we have split everything down the middle as it's happened, all the profit, all the expense, all the sweat, all of it. And so many guys I know have started companies, done incredibly well, and they resent their spouse. And so many women I know resent their husbands for never being there. And their kids, and it just leads to all kinds of stuff. So we've just been this business model allowed us to drop our kids off from school until they could drive. Both of us, one or both of us.
Could drive them and do all that, yeah. Be part of it.
And teach our kids to drive and be the soccer coach and all of that stuff. And so we were always there. We split all the money down the middle, which is really, really important to me because I have personal examples in the way long before Jill, where that's just not the case. You make a lot of money, you give it away. I don't have any resentment for you.
Thank you.
Now's not the time to ask if you have any for me.
No, I won't answer that now. Just kidding. Can I think about that? Just kidding. I don't. Yeah. But yeah, that's
so
good.
If you're going to work with your spouse, good luck.
Uh-huh.
Have a sit-down conversation about splitting money, acquisition decisions, and see what they're good at.
Yep.
If one of them's great at Excel and one of them's great at talking to people, and you both want to make a ton of money, that's a good first start. That's a great start, but I bet it won't get past that.
Maybe it will. We do have successful couples in Land Academy. So I'm going to say, and if that's something you guys think you can do, we'll help you. That's part of Land Academy too. Is this.
I'm not being negative, but most companies don't have co-CEOs, and that's what Jill and I are. There's not one person that runs it. Most of the successful marriages I see is one person runs it, one person rolls over, and they're both happy in those roles. That isn't us.
No, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
No, I don't. Why would it be you? It could be me.
Good, thank
mostly the guy rolls over.
Thank you.
Join us next week for 5 more interesting episodes. Hopefully you are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.